a new internet research tool hopes to help medical practitioners and researchers understand exactly what it's like to live with ME or chronic fatigue syndrome, as Robin Powell now reports.
Natalie Tappy developed ME or chronic fatigue syndrome while at university. It drastically changed her life.
It's like just feeling like you've got the flu all the time, or you're just about to get the cold or some sort of sickness bug. As it progressed, I felt just completely out of energy, cold hands and feet, headaches, nauseous. Felt just sick constantly, sensitive to light and noise and sound. It was just sensitive to absolutely everything.
But Natalie's hoping that a new and innovative web-based research tool will help to further the understanding and treatment of the condition. It's called PRIME, or Partnership for Research in CFS and ME, and the driving force behind it is Dr. Sophie Staniszewska. As well as Warwick School of Medicine and Social Studies, she also works for the RCN Research Institute.
PRIME came about because we realised that we didn't really know enough about people's experiences in this area, and we weren't using that information to try and develop a collaborative research agenda. And that's really what PRIME wanted to do, was to draw together what we already know, develop that a bit further, and to work collaboratively with researchers, clinicians and those with ME, CFS.
So what exactly is PRIME?
PRIME is a project which is a web-based resource and includes all of the data that we collected, and the aim really is for researchers, clinicians, those with ME, CFS to be able to search the database, download information from it and use it in their own work to really ensure that the patient perspective is integral.
How helpful will PRIME be?
We think it will be very helpful. It's the first resource of its kind which researchers can use to actually access original data and use it in their own work. So they don't have to set up an experiences part to their study. This data is freely available for them to download and use in their projects.
If people can become aware of the condition and try and understand it, then perhaps more people become interested and there'll be more money, more research. So I think any sort of information is a good thing, really.
ME support groups say in the UK there are more than 250,000 sufferers like Natalie. But it's always been a very controversial subject. Indeed, there are many within the medical profession who doubt whether ME actually exists at all.
I think it's incredible, really, that there's so many people suffering with very similar symptoms. And I can't believe that anybody with any sort of humanity would disbelieve them. I think it's absolutely criminal that we're not listened to more and there's not more understanding.
So, what do healthcare professionals make of PRIME?
PRIME as an idea is great. It seems to integrate a lot of the ideas that have been floating around in qualitative, quantitative medicine. So it's a good way of integrating patient experience, patient narratives into a way that is searchable. So what it means is that you can look at various case histories in a different way. Currently, we tend to look at books, we tend to look at slides, we tend to look at interactive programs, but this will be a rich assortment of different human beings with different problems, all under the umbrella term of chronic fatigue syndrome, ME.
There's quite a lot of disagreement in the medical profession about ME and CFS and so on. There are some medical practitioners who say, it doesn't exist. Will some be unhappy that something like PRIME appears to put it on a kind of semi-official footing?
I think chronic fatigue syndrome, ME, will always be controversial. The problem is that we don't have a clear diagnostic test. For example, for anemia, the amount of hemoglobin in the blood will be low. For a broken bone on an X-ray, it will be clear to see that the bone is broken. The diagnostic criteria that we have for chronic fatigue syndrome with ME are really quite vague, I'm afraid, and we don't have a single diagnostic test. So I think for the time being, we're still going to have this problem. But what this resource will do is it'll help clinicians understand the multifaceted nature of chronic fatigue syndrome with ME, the diverse range of people that it affects. And if we can do that, then I think PRIME would have achieved its objectives.
For his part, Dr. Patel is convinced CFS-ME is a genuine condition. He believes the pressures of modern life are often to blame.
It could be due to stress, could be due to not having enough time for leisure, not having enough downtime just for the patient to recover.
Now, Prime has been about 3 years in the making. Presumably now you want people to use it.
We do indeed. You can use Prime in a whole range of different ways. You can develop your general understanding of what it's like to have ME/CFS. You can focus in on specific symptoms that you want to search for, find out what people have said about it, or you can search much more broadly and develop an understanding of one of the themes that we have identified, for example, coping strategies.
Whether you're a patient, a healthcare professional, or just an interested observer, you'll find the Prime website at www.prime-cfs.org.